Today I will be talking about the role of assistive technology for students who are blind or visually impaired in the education system. And my name is Elizabeth Posant. My why. Both of my parents were blind, and I have watched them experience firsthand the lack of accessibility for technology. While both my parents are older, I do see the gap that they have from not having this accessibility and the technology and resources that they needed. This has given me a firsthand experience of seeing what happens when the accessibility is not readily available or not easily accessible for my parents and many others. For a breakdown of what assistive technology is, it's simply any device that helps a student have accessibility to learning the same way as other students. Some examples are Braille books, Braille displays, or screen readers. More examples are magnification tools, tactile drawings, or math materials, and accessible digital books. When we have this technology, this helps support the student having full participation in discussions and activities, and it supports learning, builds confidence, and helps with independence. This also just opens up the possibility that the student is treated equally the same as all other students, and there's nothing in the way of them furthering their education if they choose to, or just learning the subject in the same way that all their peers are learning it. Without this technology, blind and visually impaired students rely on others, and that can hinder their learning, their peers' learning, and it also puts a strain on the teachers. It gives students equal access to learning, so without it, it is taking that equal access away, and it opens opportunities for more education. Like I stated earlier in my presentation, students have more options if they are given the tools that they need to succeed. The challenges, the biggest and most obvious one is the cost, and that's mostly a challenge with anything with special needs, but particularly the Braille displays can cost anywhere from $3,000 to $6,000, and many softwares are pricey as well. The teachers would need additional training. The digital content is sometimes not accessible, and then just inconsistent support across districts. This can be seen in any kind of special needs accessibility or just any student support in general. The inconsistency can create more chaos than helpful sometimes. There is some new research, and it's the coding tools, and it helps them to learn how to code, and this could help them also learn more technology. There is also wearable Braille tech that uses vibration patterns to read text. And then just as technology becomes more accessible, iPads, Chromebooks, smartbooks, because they can use speech on those. How we can improve moving forward, how like the society can improve, the education system can improve. They can offer school, district, or state funding for devices, train teachers, aides, and all in contact with the students, and have a balanced approach of Braille and technology. While these technology is really helpful, you don't want it to take away from the basics of Braille. Just like even though we have technology now, we still teach students how to read. So students that are blind or visually impaired should also be given that option, which is Braille to them. What I learned was this was not an option. It's essential for the success of students, especially now, and the age that we're in with technology. It's not an option. At first, when I approached this, I approached it from my parents' perspectives, who are in their 60s, so technology was obviously not part of their education, but it is very much a part of their everyday life now. And so I thought maybe, okay, it doesn't need to happen, but this research showed me how this is now like necessary. It's as necessary as a pencil is for a student to write. And the inclusion will require planning, commitment, and training. This isn't going to be an overnight thing. It won't even be a day-to-day thing. This would be years of implementing training and resources. But this will, in long term, increase so much independence for the students and their peers as well as their teachers. Questions that I did approach when I was looking at this problem in our school system is how can schools fund more equally across districts? How can the technology be spread not just to one district like that? More well-off areas, but every district. What is the best balance between teaching Braille and rely on audio tools? That was kind of what I touched base on earlier, that you don't want to fully rely on the technology. You still want to teach basics. And how can we ensure accessibility is built into digital materials from the beginning? So this would take a step away. We wouldn't have to redo anything if it was just automatic. And how can how can teachers receive better ongoing training? And what technology will shape accessibility in 10 years from now? I think technology is ever changing for everyone, but if we could figure out a way to make things accessible from the beginning, then it would take a lot of the middle steps out, which would create it to be cheaper and more accessible for everyone. These are the references that I used to do this presentation.